Well, listen, we talked to him a little bit about the last Seattle Patriots matchup. I would say, Fitz, when you look at this game, we didn't get his prediction, but I'll ask you yours. You got a prediction on what's going to happen?
I do. Now, I think everybody and their mother is picking Seattle in this game, okay, right? I mean, the team has been the most dominant team in football this year. They've showed up in big-time moments. The NFC West was a gauntlet, having to go through the Rams 3 times in San Francisco, and the way that they played, they're battle-tested. But I keep looking for a way in to see if New England can win this game, and I do think there's a path. I think there's a path for New England to win this game. I think they're going to shock the world.
Wow.
This would be an enormous upset.
Okay.
They are not the better team, but all they have to do is be the better team on Sunday. I think New England wins this game, Andrew.
Wow, Fitz, I love that. I love it. I think you're an idiot, but I love it. I think that's great. I love that you're going there, mainly so we can be on different sides of it. But no, I don't think you're an idiot. I agree with you. I think it would be cool in the sense to see. I think it will be a better game than maybe we think. I think there is some challenges that New England's got to get past. They're going to need their offensive line to play well. That's just the reality. I mean, that group for Seattle up front is really freaking good. And so I don't put any doubt on the ability of Drake May and this offense with some of the weapons they have to be able to make some plays. But it's going to all be dictated on, we've seen this in Super Bowls, right? You look back at some of these games and how they've gone about. It's going to be dictated on whether this line can protect him long enough to make some of this happen, open up some holes enough for them to have a little bit of a run game or create some explosives. That's really what's going to come down to. And I think to me, it's just too much, because it'd be one thing if that was the only problem, but I think Seattle is playing the best they've played all season long on offense as well. And I think that's the biggest problem, is that they're rolling. They got a lot of confidence. So I look for Seattle, really, this game to be able to New England to make it a game. And they're going to have to make a special play of 2 if they want to win. But I think Seattle's going to continue to roll, and they're too complete at this point. I think they end up having a Super Bowl, and what an awesome thing to see Sam Darnold, his career arc, to be standing up there with another Super Bowl. Cooper Kupp the last year, if you think about his year with the Rams, basically, sending him off and him getting to go to play in Seattle and now have a chance to win a second Super Bowl. What a cool thing for his legacy. So I think Seattle gets it done, and it's going to be a special night for that football team.
Yeah. So obviously there are a lot more ways, a lot more paths for Seattle to win this game. And so when you start talking about how can New England win this game, it gets very narrow, but there is a path. And part of it is they've got to force a few turnovers. How are they going to do that? Kenneth Walker has not fumbled a lot in his career. I think he has 3 fumbles total. And when I watch him play, and I'm just thinking about what Mike Vrabel is saying to his team, Kenneth Walker is an unbelievable football player that loves to continue to fight for those hard-earned yards at the end, spinning and twisting, and they got to punch one of those balls out on Kenneth Walker. They got to recover that. That's a way that they're going to be able to do it. And then if they can control this game and keep it close, the Rolodex of what they did to the Chargers and just keeping them off balance and getting pressure on the quarterback. Mike Vrabel, even though he didn't coach with Bill Belichick, comes from the let's take away their best player and see what happens. How do they stop JSN? I think their secondary is an advantage. Obviously, Christian Gonzalez, one of the best corners in the league. But then you look at offensively, Josh McDaniels is going to be a huge part of this game. The experience he has been there and done that. Hasselbeck mentioned this the other day when we talked to him, but the trick plays, there's going to be 2 of them. Are they going to hit? Seattle's going to be ready for him, but are they going to hit? Ramondre Stevenson has to have an enormous game. They have to control the clock. They've got to start putting pressure on Seattle's offense, start feeling like, gosh, we got to get going and do something. And then just the coverage indicators on 3rd down. Seattle does a great job of playing too high, keeping everything in front of them. They will have nice disguises, but when they are in man coverage, I think Drake May, the way he's thrown the deep ball this year, there is an advantage with New England on the outside. And Josh McDaniels has to have ways in order to tell Drake May before the snap of the ball so he can get it in his mind. We're going to have an opportunity to take shots on the outside. He's going to have to hit at least 2 of them in this game. And he's shown that he's been really consistent about that.
Some of the Rams production, being able to throw it down the field a little bit. I thought it was interesting too, Fitz. I was watching the last Super Bowl Seattle Patriots, and just their patience in that game of, all right, Seattle's great on defense. We're just gonna meticulously, we're gonna take the 2-yard, 3-yard catch. They don't have those guys, I would say that you had then with Edelman and Amendola and some of that, and Gronk, obviously. But it was so patient. And so these guys are so good on defense. We are just going to literally chip away all day long and just not make mistakes. The difference in this game is, I think, with Drake May and some of the guys they will be able to take some shots down the field. But I thought that you really look at it, it'll be interesting to see what Josh's plan is in this game. And when I was watching it, there's a lot of heavy O-linemen too. And I was sitting there in my mind, I thought, was Will Campbell. He's an athletic kid. Is he going to catch a touchdown pass in this game? Could there be an eligible situation?
So that's what I'm hoping.
Right, that's what I want to happen. I want 318 to score a touchdown in the game. That's my hope. I hope Will Campbell gets a tackle eligible, but more than likely it wouldn't be him. But I want to see an O-lineman get one in this game. I think Josh will dial it up. They get down in there.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this last week, but the week's rest for Drake May, I think, is helpful just to regain some of the confidence, because it has been a rough stretch, the 3 games not playing great, but he's going to have that clock in his head, because these guys are coming. And the other thing that New England does, though, situationally, when you watch Seattle, Leonard Williams and Murphy, they take a break. Okay, now we've got a specific set of plays that are designed to take advantage of the 2 D tackles that are in the game now. So because we know we don't have to deal with their 2 best guys. They'll have a plan as those defensive linemen are rotating for plays they can run versus particular defensive linemen and plays they can't, which is that's the New England way. That's the Josh McDaniels way, is just so smart and so meticulous with their game planning. But if this one, if this gets out of hand early, and you watch the San Francisco game, obviously we had the kickoff return for a touchdown, San Francisco fumbles, and all of a sudden you look up the scoreboard, you're in the first quarter and it's 17-0. We could see this game going that way as well. But I've got New England. I'm all in, Whit.
I like your confidence. I like your confidence.
We'll see how it goes, though. I'm sure you're going to hold me to that too.
Don't worry. You'll hear about it.
Busted up, but I don't I've grown up hating. I hate New England.
I know. I'm shocked that you're picking them right now.
I know, but I love Mike Vrabel.
And not only that, you've been on the Seahawks bandwagon since midseason, since they lost to the Rams. You've been just championing the Seahawks.
Love the Seahawks. I would love for Sam Darnold to win a Super Bowl, but
he's going to be our first guest when they
win
it. I'm going to make sure he knows.
Everybody's picking him. I'm just trying to find a different way in. Trying to find a different way in. All right, so Whit, give me an official score prediction, because I want to get something down. I want to write it down so you're not backing out and saying, "Oh, I kind of thought the game would go this way." But what is your official score prediction?
I'm going to go. Shoot, you know what? I think I'm going to go 27-17. Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, I'm going to go 27-24. New England Patriots.
All right. I like
How you like that?